There, how about now? Is it working now? I think it should be working now. It just takes a minute for my iPad to catch up. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So I tried to zoom in a little bit because I'm just making a small album. So I wanted you guys to be able to see when I do my cuts and my score lines. So my name is Debbie Scott and I'm your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Brigden, Ontario. And yeah, today I'm going to be making this little mini album. And I didn't come up with this idea on my own. I did see it on Instagram. You know what? I meant to write the girl's name down and I forgot. So when I post my photos online, I will add her name on there. She used to be an artisan for Stampin' Up, but I did look at her Instagram recently and it looks like she's not with Stampin' Up anymore. But I think it was Karen something. I forget. So that's where I got the idea from. And it's just made up of all little hexagons, hexagons. I kept wanting to say octagons, but no, hexagons. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cute. So the hexagons that I am using are from an old set, Beautiful Shapes dies. We do have hexagons currently, the meant to be dies. They have quite a variety of hexagons and I'm sure they would work just perfectly. I don't know the sizes of those ones because I don't have them. So when we get to the measurements for putting the album together, just remember that those measurements are for these hexagon dies, not the meant to be dies. But the only measurement you need is this to make your book binding. So it's easy, it'll be easy to figure out. So this one I have decorated with the textured notes paper and cut out some of their little leaf images. And then I just grabbed a couple sprigs from some random die sets. And then these flowers and leaves are from the, now I'm not sure what I did with it. It's the birdhouse dies. Oh, here it is. What's that one called? Country Birdhouse. So that's where I got those flowers and the leaves. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out your hexagons. You'll need 10 of them. For this album, I used just plain white paper. Now, when I cut them out for today's album, I used the thick white rather than just the regular. I thought it might make it a little bit more sturdy. So I'll just set that there. So to put your album together, your pages together, you're going to need, and again, you just need a piece the size of one side, just a little bit smaller so that you don't see it. So for my hexagon, it is 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And this is already cut at 1 1/4, and I'm going to cut it at 2 1/4. Then you're done with your cutter, and we are going to score every 1/4 inch. we go. And this is what we're going to attach our pages to. And one more. So this is what we are making. So you're going to fold this one up. Then we want to make our little section. Maybe it'll be easier to see like that. That goes across. So you're folding the next one up as well. So it looks like that. Then we are going to fold this one back. Then this one will be across. This one will be up. Then we're making our next page. So we're going to go back down. And across and up for our last page. On this album here that I did, I had these two were double thickness as well. I didn't really find that served any purpose, and it just added a little extra bulk on my cover of my album here. So I made it a little bit shorter for this one. So this is what you've got here. So we're going to put glue right here. And I used liquid glue for this. I'm going to squeeze that together. That's going to make technically our second page. So then you've got your straight across piece, and then we're going to glue in this valley here. Just like that. So you can use your bone folder to crease that really well. In both directions. So then flip everything the other direction. That'll just help your pages turn nicely. Just like that. So there you can see it from both angles. So in your album, you're going to have your cover is just one single hexagon. And then your next page has 2. And the next page has 3. And then the back has 4. I'm just going to grab my silicone mat so I don't get glue everywhere. So on this first one, we're going to put just a little bit of glue on the very front. Lay your hexagon down. Just let that press for a minute. So you're going to see this on the inside. But that's okay because we're going to cover it up. This one I've used a photo. I've covered it up with a photo so you won't see it. So then you're going to glue your next one. So you've got a little space in between each page. So your next one's going to go on here. So we'll add one hexagon to each page first, and then I'll go and show you how to extend your pages. So now we've got our next little flap there. Put some glue on there. Lay down the hexagon. And then we've got one last little flap there. Make sure I don't have glue in there. There. So that's the base of your book. Like that. Now before I add my pages, I've added just another little piece to go over top of that, just to add a little bit of like sturdiness, to make it a little more sturdy. So that piece is also going to be 1 1/4 inches, and we're going to cut it at, it's about 1 3/4. I think actually, hang on one second, I just want to move this over because I want it to be right on the screen here. We're going to score first for this one. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch. This measurement doesn't need to be exact. That's what's going to attach it to the front of your album. Now your next measurement is this width across here. So that should be about 3/4 inch. It's probably going to be, yeah, pretty much exactly 3/4, because each of these measurements was 1/4. So then just the thickness of the paper in between. So you don't want to make your score lines exactly 3/4 inch apart. You want it a little bit bigger than that. Like, I'm going to say about a 1/16 inch bigger. So hopefully you can kind of see that, just to give it enough room, enough space to wrap all the way around there. Okay, so this cutter doesn't have 1/18 or 1/16 inch. Okay, so we did this one at 1/2 inch, and now we want to add 3/4 inch. There's half, so 3/4 would be 1 and, I have written down 1 3/4, but it would be 1 1/4. But we want to go a little bit bigger than that so it has enough room. Okay, and then we're going to score there, and then we're going to cut it. Oh, I see, I was reading the wrong thing. I was reading where we're going to cut. I'm going to cut at 1 3/4. There we go. So you've got 1/2 inch for the back, roughly 1/2 inch for the front. They're not exactly the same, but as I said, that doesn't matter, because it's just going to go over top like this, so that the side of your album is nice and clean. You don't have all those little marks, and it does add a bit of sturdiness to your album. So we're just going to put glue on here. Oh, no, it doesn't want to come out. I think it's just about empty. There we go. Oh. You also want it on your two inside flaps here. You want to use some of that extra glue. There and there. So that's just going to slide right over top. Your width is exactly the same. And we're just going to press that down. There. So now you've got the base of your album finished. So we're just going to add the extra hexagons. So I mean, this you could really do however you wanted. If you wanted it to be 4 across on every page, you could do that too. I kind of liked how it got progressively longer and longer, and then how you could kind of decorate it so that you see a little bit of each page. So you're going to we'll need our glue here in a minute. Need our trimmer back again for a second. I could have cut these pieces ahead, but that's okay. So you're going to need 6 pieces that are going to be 1 1/4, the same as all the rest, by 1/2 inch. And these don't have to be exactly 1/2 inch, but that seemed to work fairly well. So I'm going to stick with that measurement. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. I struggle picking these up with my fingernails. There we go. All right. So we've got the base done here. We're just adding on our extra pages. So this is the front of our album. So we're not doing anything with the first page, and we're going to add 1 to our second page. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip this over. Just line them up like that. We're going to put some glue on here. I'm trying to think if this is how I did it the last time. I can't remember now, and I just did it the other day. So this is going to be on the back. I feel like I did it different. I don't know, because I could see better. You're just gluing those 2 pages together, those 2 hexagons together. And you're not going to see this, well, except on the back. I didn't decorate the back of mine, so you can see it there. but the rest of them all have paper or photos on it, so you won't see it. So that's our second page, so we only want 2 hexagons there. So then this one, I'm going to try it this way this time. A little glue here and a little bit here. I'm going to line that up. I think I didn't put that extra piece on the back until after I was done this. I think I should have waited on that part because it's kind of bending it, but oh well. I put ribbon over mine, so you really can't see it anyway. There we go. So we're going to put a little glue here. So we're going to add one more hexagon. And then for our last page, oops, this is how I did it. I lined it up with one line so I could tell how far over to put my hexagon. And then I laid this one on top. I guess I should have tried it again so I remembered. But yeah, that's how I did it. We'll put 2 little strips of glue here. And then my line's gonna go there. I'm going to lay the other one on top here. And then one more. And the only reason I'm lining it up is so that I get it even. I've got a 1/4 inch on this side and then a 1/4 inch left for this hexagon, like that. I think I did do it on my silicone mat last time, but actually there's not too much glue, a little bit. I'll wipe that off with the baby wipe. So there is the base of your, it'll just sit to display it. So yeah, I could put paper on the back of this, just cut a few more hexagons. I wanted to leave it so that you could see how I attach my pages together. So yeah, I've just decorated the front. I've used, trying to think now if that's current. No, it is retired. The Alpha Best set. And there's a little punch that goes with it that punches this out. And I've just added some black marker around each of the letters. One thing I did do was I sanded each picture, each photo, and each piece of paper. So it was just a little bit of white around the edge, so you can't see if it's not perfectly lined up. Like I can see it now that this photo isn't perfectly lined up, but because of that white sanding along the edge, you can't even tell. And you can't tell on the back either. So I just added a few flowers there to that one. These are some retired gems. Oh, that's what else I was gonna say, is I pulled in a retired color, almost amethyst, because I wanted something to match her dress. This was from her graduation last year, grade 8 grad. So I just wanted something that kind of matched her dress. So I just pulled in an old color, almost amethyst, and that's what that is. And that one I just added some flowers and some leaves there. And so you can see here, I've done every other one. Every other one a photo, every other one the papers that coordinate. That's the textured notes paper that we've been using for a couple weeks. So I'm on to some new product next week. So yeah, and the same on this one. It was every other one. And the same here. So then you've got photo, paper, photo. And then I just added some ribbon on my middle of the album there and wrapped it around and added a little bow there. And there we go. So it actually is a really quick album to put together. Like I've only been half an hour there. I did have my hexagons cut out, but that was very quick. So yeah, I like that. It was super quick and it looks really neat. You could try this maybe with some different shapes. Yeah, I think it was kind of neat. I'm glad I stumbled across that on Instagram. So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to decorate this one after. I haven't got any pictures printed yet. Oh, that is one other thing I was going to say. For my photos, let's see if I have just a scrap here. I printed mine 3 by 4 inches. So I've got 2 separate photos here. Just printed on one 4 by 6, and then I just used my hexagon die and ran that through the die cutter and cut my photos out to go on top. So that's how I got them a bit smaller. They weren't full 4 by 6 photos. Yeah, I think that is all I've got. I'm going to decorate this one. I've pulled out an old paper pumpkin kit that I think I might use for this one. I couldn't quickly find some pictures that I wanted to use with it. So that's why I didn't get that done. But once we get our paper over top, you won't see this part anymore. And same on the back. Once we decorate and get our photos printed, then you won't see any of that either. All right, so that's what I have for you today. And next week, I'm actually moving on to some new product that's coming out in May, the Impressions of Bloom. I don't have the paper, I just got the stamp and the die set. So that's what I'm going to be using for next week. It's a nice, nice floral set. I like that. Alrighty. So I will be back on Monday at 12 o'clock.